So let's play a game here. Overvalued, undervalued, or properly valued. Nico has picked out 5 teams, 5 win totals for 2024. Let's break it down. Nico, who we got?
All right, we'll start things off with the team that had the number 1 pick in this past draft, the Chicago Bears.
Their win total, 8.5. I think they're undervalued. They to me are at least a 10-win team. They are going to the playoffs. The Bears are a playoff team here in 2024. They have a top 10 defense. And take Caleb Williams out of this for a second. I'm a big Caleb guy. I know plenty of you out there listening are not. You're skeptical. Here's why, though, you should be a big believer in Caleb year 1 immediate impact. Look at what's around him. I think what's around him, there's too much talent for him to fail. You have DJ Moore, proven number 1 receiver. Now you also bring in Keenan Allen, who has trouble staying on the field, but when he's on the field is a tremendous 1A. You get Rome Odunze as well. So you have 3 guys right now in 2024 that all could be number 1 receivers. You got 3 of them on your roster. Really solid tight end and Cole Kmet as well, who's a touchdown machine in the red zone. DeAndre Swift, who is a solid all-purpose back, both catching the ball out of the backfield and running between the tackles, over 1,000 yards last year for the Eagles. Like, this offense, along with the top 10 defense, I think is too good to fail. So Caleb Williams, if you have questions about him and how he'll perform in the NFL, if he's overhyped, if you don't like his cockiness, whatever your questions or doubts, look what's around him. He's going to be helped by the players around him, not hurt. Bears, I think, are going to the playoffs in 2024. They're getting double-digit wins. 8.5 right now is the win over-under total. I'm taking the over big time here. I think they're undervalued by Vegas.
All right, next up, another team that's going to have a new quarterback in 2024. They actually picked up 2 quarterbacks this past offseason, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Their win total, 7.5. I think they're properly valued. I think that number is spot on by Vegas. Look, Russell Wilson is done. Well, I don't want to hear the optimism from Mike Tomlin or Steelers fans. Russ is done. What we saw the last few years in Seattle and the 2 years in Denver, that's who he is anymore. There's no MVP Russ left in him anymore. That is come and gone. And so when you look at what Russell Wilson is as a quarterback right now, I mean, he's not even a top 10 quarterback in the AFC right now. So you have one of the bottom 3rd quarterbacks in the AFC. And Justin Fields is not like a savior waiting in the wings. I don't think he's that much better either. I think he's got talent. I don't see him, though, really developing that talent much better in Pittsburgh compared to Chicago. So I look at Russ, Fields, interchangeable. Neither to me move the needle that much in terms of really uplifting the quarterback position in Pittsburgh. And then you look at their schedule. Their final 8 games is Murderer's Row. Within those last 8 games, you have all 6 divisional games. So 2 against the Bengals, 2 against the Browns, 2 against the Ravens. I would argue right now the AFC North. Best, hardest, toughest, deepest division in the league. So 6 division games in your final 8. And then the other 2 non-division games you have in your final 8 games of the year for the Steelers. Oh, just against the Chiefs and the Eagles. 2 of the most talented teams in the league. Yeah, no biggie there. This is the year Mike Tomlin's run in terms of non-losing seasons ends. 7.5, that's what Vegas has. Yeah, 7-10, 8-9. I think that's spot on for the Steelers. That's where they're going. Vegas properly rated the Steelers this year.
Back to the NFC we go, and the defending East Division champion Dallas Cowboys.
Their number's 10.5. I think they're overvalued. I don't think Dallas is going to be very good this year. I think their ceiling is 10 wins, so I don't think they're getting more than 10.5. I think Vegas is overvaluing them. They have gotten worse this year. They lose Dan Quinn, one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. Their roster, I mean, you got Zeke Elliott back for part 2 now as his running back, or as the running back in Dallas, being the number 1 guy. Don't like the losses right now this offseason for Dallas. I think their roster's gotten worse. 10.5, they feel to me overvalued.
The other team in that division to make the postseason last year, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Properly valued. There's some people down on Philly after last year. Their number's 10.5. I think they're going over that number, and I think 10, 11 win range is where they're going to be. They have too much talent to lose. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. You add Saquon Barkley right now. That offensive line is still really good. I think they're just too talented to lose. and they fixed the main problem with 2023. The coaching staff, offense coordinator, defense coordinator. Fired both. You bring in Kellen Moore, whose offenses have always succeeded when he's been calling the plays, and you bring Vic Fangio in defensively. I think the main problem for Philly has been fixed. Coaching staff's been changed out. Eagles properly valued.
One of the 6 teams to draft a quarterback in the first round this year. How about Sean Payton's Denver Broncos?
Their number's 5.5. I think Vegas is undervaluing them. I like Bo Nix is fit in this offense a lot. He, to me, is Drew Brees 2.0 in the sense that he does a lot of what Sean Payton wants his quarterbacks to do. Quick drop, get the ball out fast, slants, hitches. Bo did a lot of that at Oregon. I think he'll fit into this offense very quickly and very well for Sean Payton. But also look at Sean Payton. This has been a guy, no matter where he's been, no matter what his rosters look like, he's never won fewer than 7 games as a head coach in his career. And he's done that, by the way, in years where you've had Ian Book making starts, Trevor Siemian being his quarterback. His last year in New Orleans, he's had some bad QBs, still found a way to win 8 games. So Sean Payton, I think, alone is going to get the Broncos to 6 wins bare minimum. I think at 5.5, I mean, I look at this team as a 7-8 win team. I think Vegas severely undervaluing the Broncos.